Happy Next Fest, everybody. Hello and welcome, Mossvale. Yes, yes. Well, to be honest, I didn't know how big of a day it would be. And turns out nothing. Nothing's happening. Absolutely nothing. So I don't know what to make of that. I don't know if that's normal for the first 2 days of Next Fest. They do say that Steam randomly orders the games. So random ordered is not particularly the strength of our wish lists are not going to do anything for us, and we won't really know how we're performing until day 3, I guess. I would think something would be happening, but literally nothing is happening. I mean, our concurrent players are pretty much normal, so we'll see. We'll see. But now it is time to focus in and get cranking. What's the most important thing? We've got a few outdoor class seasonal arrangements. Let's see. Okay, what's this all about? Okay, summer and fall arrangements don't have conversations for the kids. I wrote seasonal branches for Kalula. Winter does have special lines for all the kids. Okay, summer and fall don't have conversations. So what does it mean? Like, are they not supposed to talk? Potential extra animations, all looking upwards, Kalula pointing into the tree. Well, that would be pretty easy. Okay, so I think we're supposed to flip through all these. Oh, and there's, wow. There is a lot of stuff. My goodness. Okay, there's new props and everything. Crazy. Oh, this is like gonna have to have a fire and stuff. This is a lot of work. This is loaded. All wearing winter outfits. Okay, what's this? Class Snow Fort. Okay. Potential new animations, all wearing winter outfits. That one will be hard. 1 second. We will need to update to make sure all the kids have their winter kids class convos. Yeah, the convos I don't quite understand. Perhaps I should just make all the arrangements and then we can start thinking about conversations. Since they will be next to each other and already have had conversation together, Thistle, Ivy, and Vinny can share their Theo's gift pick topic in a 4-way convo. Okay, we will need to update to make sure all the kids have their winter class convos and can be asked about Theo's gifts. I'm definitely going to need Jacqueline's help. Okay, at Amka's treehouse where Alchemist used to be. Oh, okay. I wonder how this intersects with Amka's treehouse. All the kids will be in their basic clothing and will remain here for the rest of the game. Okay. And then she asks also about the Mud Pie quest. Okay, so this is a monster doc, honestly. Mosfell says some of the games do their best on day 3. Well, day 3 is when they actually become sorted. So that's what Valve says. Valve says the first 48 hours, all the games are just placed in random order. So nobody gets any more visibility than anybody else, which means we're just part of the pack. And then based on your performance as part of the pack, that's when you get sorted. So I don't know what good performance looks like. I don't know I don't even know what metrics they're using. Are they using wishlist velocity? Are they using concurrent players? Are they using playtime? If it is wishlist velocity, is it like conversions per impression, or is it just gross wishlist velocity? If it's gross wishlist velocity, that seems like it could be easily not easily, but you could, it seems like it would put a lot more incentive to time it with other press beats. And Valve has specifically said that you can have your demo out for, you should have it out for a long time before you go into Next Fest. Valve said that themselves. So it doesn't seem to me like it should be wishlist velocity, but I don't know what it is that ranks you. 60 demos downloaded. Wow. Well, who knows? Mott's in Action says, hello, by the way, welcome. I just randomly saw that you're streaming and I'm glad you're here. Well, thank you. I'm glad to be here. Well, thank you. Thank you. Very kind of you. Mossville says, such a troll even with filters. So much trash. It's insane. I wish you could filter by AI art. Yeah. Oh, man. All right, so let's see. Definitely have a lot of work to do with all these class arrangements. This is an absolute doozy. Let's turn off our UI layer and see if we can place our player over in the Ochre Woods and see if we can start making these class arrangements. Ooh. Okay. All right, so we're in developer start settings, and this is the base arrangement, right? Okay, summer, fall, right, spring is the base arrangement. So then summer, we have to rearrange them. So let's see what we can do here. So there's mushroom class. It just says mushroom class. I guess we should rename it to like spring mushroom class. And then if I, let's see, it's pretty similar in summer. I don't even think, oh, Jacqueline's already added all the props. I don't even know what's going to be different. They're just looking at a tree instead of the stump. Okay. So in that case, let's just duplicate it and then let's say summer mushroom class. And then we're just going to deactivate the spring one. Wonder if this is going to cause issues for us. Okay, so we've got Kahlua is her name, not Kahlua. Kahlua is an alcoholic beverage. Standing over here by the tree. And then we've got Satterchild. We're going to flip them. They're standing to the left of Kahlua. And then we've got Theo, I think is, Fabric Maker Child. Gonna flip him. I don't even think players are gonna notice that these are even different arrangements. They're so similar. Okay. And we've got this fellow. Is he? Yeah, he's looking left and he's next to this log here. Or the stump. And then she is off just continuing to destroy more mushrooms. So let's put her down. Where? Okay, so Jacqueline, I think, wants more mushrooms down here. That's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, right at the bottom of the road. So we'll put her like right here, and then we're gonna have to make some more mushrooms. Another little mushroom predicament. Gonna have to get her smashed mushrooms and maybe get some more. Get a couple little bits and bobs here. We'll take the whole kit and caboodle here. Duplicate all these and then place them down by her, but I think we're gonna want them to be in the spring or the particular group. So I'm gonna try to place all these mushrooms in. Oh, it's already part of the summer class. Perfect. So what I should have done was not duplicate them. I should have deleted them because now we've got the summer mushroom. Well, do they? No, they actually stick around. So we're supposed to leave them. Okay. All right. Mods in Action says, I know your focus is solely on Songs of Glimmerwick, but are you and your team already thinking about the next project, the next game? So many people ask this. I do have an idea for the next game, but I don't know if it's going to be the one we're going to do. I'd really like to make a merchant RPG, the likes of which has never been seen before. I want to make an RPG where the core loop of the game is buying and selling. I want to make trade routes and quests and a cool sort of ensemble cast kind of story. I think that would be really cool. But it's very difficult to tell if something like that is viable. And I don't know how well Songs of Glimmerwick is going to do, so we'll see. Feeling pretty good about it yesterday, but now as I watch our next fest do absolutely nothing at all, I worry, I wonder. Still nothing happening over in the next fest land. Yeah, 22 concurrent players. Pretty much nothing, pretty normal for us. Just a few more than normal. I'd like to expand the studio a little bit, hire a few people. These mushrooms their shadows have fallen below the ground. I don't know exactly how that happened. I wish that the nav mesh would stop showing itself. Here we go. Okay. I don't know why these got shoved into the ground, but I can't see any of their shadows. Do you have a shadow too? Huh. Okay, and all of you have a shadow. And you guys have a shadow too, so I just need to lift it. So I just need to scramble them up a little too, since now I know that they're both going to be sort of in the same area. All right, so that is the arrangement. Let's look at the dock. And then we do have some more props for the next group. So there's the summer mushroom class. So let's look at the fall mushroom class. Let's turn this one off and let's do fall mushroom class. Okay. All right. What else do we have here? Keep opening the wrong window over here. So now we've got Kalula and the other moth girl. She's probably gonna have to have a different animation. It seems like now we're breaking into our props. So I think that there's a couple props now. Oh, potential extra animations all looking upward. I see. So that's where we would do the looking up animation. Well, that could be done. We just have to see if it will be worth it. We've got to get these props, the class skull, class fossil 1. So let's check. Where is it positioned? Just kind of near these rocks. Class skull. Okay, so we need to create these. I suppose I'll just copy a boulder, and then I will unpack the prefab, and then I'm going to put it into our fall mushroom group, and I'm going to call it skull. And then I'm going to need to grab, oh, there's a bunch of crap in here we don't need. I'll just pop this out. There. Okay. Sparks we don't need either. Let's call this skull. And we've got this sprite plane replacement. We're gonna have to get a new material, so I'll just duplicate this boulder material. Hey Koyakupa, welcome back. Says yesterday you said you're gonna try Godot even though your next game is gonna be 3D. Is there any specific reason you're not gonna try Unreal Engine besides the cut of Unreal from gross revenue? Where Unreal is good at 3D. The cut is a big reason. That might be the biggest reason. But I just also really don't like Unreal's. I don't like blueprints. I don't want to do visual scripting. I like code. I don't want to make a game with blueprints. That sounds like a nightmare to me. I also don't want to make a game with C++. That also sounds like a nightmare to me. Like I don't want to be making gameplay code and having to compile every time. And then also just having to, you know, deal with their sort of engine code and stuff. It's all be sort of mixed together. I don't know how well the gameplay layer is separated in C++. I know they kind of expect you to use blueprints. I don't want to use blueprints. That sounds awful. I'm pretty sure they've implemented like C#, right, in Unreal. That might be interesting. But I just think Unreal is really heavy, and it just seems to make a lot of assumptions about the way that it wants to do everything. Nanite, no, I don't love. I don't know. There's just a lot of newfangled shiny things in Unreal that I don't like. Real-time GI. I hate real-time GI. I think it's a complete waste. I don't know why any game would want to do real-time GI that wasn't procedural. So all those things make me sort of turn me off from the engine. It's just so heavy like as a baseline. And I really like sort of defining, getting to sort of build up the way that our game looks. I just think it's fun. Not that you can't do that in Unreal, but just it has so many things that already, I don't know. It has things that already look good. It has like great looking water and PBR shaders and all kinds of stuff. And I guess something about it doesn't sound as exciting to me. I can't explain it. Just using somebody else's decisions about the lighting pipeline and the way things look and everything. They're good decisions. The engine looks good, but I like to build it up ourselves and make something look a little unique. I imagine there's some people who feel that way about a game engine itself. and like just using a commercial game engine instead of their own game engine. And I can totally sympathize with that. I totally understand people who are like, I want to make our own engine. A lot of people think that's a waste of time, but they want to make their own engine because it's theirs. It's their own engine. They want to build it from scratch. They want it to be more personal. They want it to be more theirs. They want it to be more special to their game. And I think that there's something to that, especially the further we get into the apocalypse, into the, the AI filth world that is dehumanizing us and turning this world into trash before our eyes. The more I can appreciate the people who want to build their own damn engine. Even that appeals even to me, although it would be, we already take long enough on our games, so I don't think we want to go down that road. Okay. Kate says, oh, why are people so obsessed with Unreal Engine? I remember just continuous complaints about optimization of games based on it. Hi, Kate. So I don't necessarily know if Unreal Engine has fundamental performance problems. I don't think it does. I know that some people like Oblivion, the remaster, and Hogwarts Legacy and stuff, people complain about performance. I don't know if that's Unreal or just the amount of stuff that they're trying to put on screen. Maybe it is Unreal. I don't know. Maybe it's Nanite. Maybe Nanite is just a tough thing to get running at frame. It's possible. I haven't really looked at it, but I think the reason why people are obsessed with Unreal, I think it's because it's people use Unreal and they want to know why I'm not using Unreal. If they're using Unreal, I think that that's why people always ask about it. And that's why people are so interested in engines in general, because they're like, they want to sort of validate what they're using. And if the reasons that they're using it are good reasons, and they sort of want to compare it to some other dev, maybe that they perhaps think maybe they like their games or whatever, and they're wondering why they're not using what they're using, if that makes sense. I think that that's why people ask about it. Unshoe Studios, hello and welcome. You take more time disabling stuff rather than creating in Unreal. Gotcha. Disabling like graphical features. That I can see that. I can definitely see that. How you could get into that. Whereas with the other engines like Unity, I feel like you're building up. You just it starts with kind of nothing. You don't even really have a concept of a player. Your player is just a camera attached to a game object with logic. I really like the simplicity and the cleanliness of it, and I like Godot for the same reasons. It's just Godot is really lightweight, and then also it's just nothing. It's just conceptual. It's very conceptual. When you go into Unreal, you already have like a player and stuff, and you have like a skybox, and it just feels different. It feels like you're modding an FPS. Whereas Unity feels like you have a blank slate and you're building your own game using a very simple rule set that you can make anything, the rules of game objects and components and transforms and such. And that really appeals to me. Sparkowitz says, I think with Unreal Engine 5, it's more that Nanite is very cool, but it isn't the magic bullet it was marketed as. Yeah, I mean, from the first video I ever saw of Nanite, the claims were absolutely absurd. I knew it was bullshit right away. I was like, no, there's no way. There's no way. Unshoe says, I hear too many new devs using any other engine than Unity because they don't want to pay anything if they earn $1 million. Wait. I hear too many new devs using any other engine than Unity, but they use something other than Unity, but Unity doesn't make you pay if you make $1 million. Unity makes you pay if you make $200,000, and they make you buy a pro license, but they don't charge you for $1 million. Unreal is the one who starts charging you royalties for $1 million, and that is way more annoying than buying a monthly license, a monthly seat. Sparkowitz says, the graphics nerd in me does love Nanite, though, on a geek out level. I think I'm just old. I'll just call this Skull. I think I'm just old, and I like... When I first joined the game industry, I sort of learned... I'll call this Class Skull, actually. I learned all the tricks of how we do things, all the tools at our disposal. And once I learned all the tools at our disposal, I just wanted to make games with that forever. I just was like, okay, I understand this. I understand 3D modeling. I understand UV unwrapping. I understand vertex color. I understand all the tricks and everything. Now I just want to go on a lifetime mission of art. It's kind of like an oil painter. Once you just learn how oil paint works, you don't want to learn a bunch of new things. You feel like you could just spend your whole life making oil painting after oil painting, and you can just have a fresh canvas every time, and you can have a million different styles and a million different, images and a million different subjects and compositions, and you can have a million different paintings, and you can get better and better at it forever. You never stop getting better. And that is how I feel about the old ways of just polygons and textures and UV maps and all that stuff. And I guess Nanite sort of is weird in that, it's sort of the fact that you can just have so much geometry sort of changes the pipeline a little bit. Also, the thing that I've always cared about the most, in terms of what I've always wanted to put a lot of on screen, it's not been polygons per se. It's always been draw calls. I've always just wanted to add a lot of objects on screen. And Nanite does not help you with that. In fact, it might even hurt you with that. So Nanite doesn't help you draw a dense forest. And that is what I'm interested in. Nanite is capable of drawing a dense forest just because Unreal is really well optimized in general. But it doesn't help you with public enemy number one, which is draw calls. I don't particularly care about having a mesh so dense that it's black with wireframe. I don't really know what that buys me. We're already at a point with modern GPUs where even without Nanite, you can put so many triangles on screen. You can pretty much make a mesh that is already denser than any detail I'd ever want to do. So, I mean, that's not really true. Particularly with LODs, I would care if the promise of Nanite was that you could, have very detailed meshes that get far away and they don't have to have LOD popping because you don't have to switch to lower resolution versions, then that would be cool. But that's not even the promise because it still does the edge collapsing as you get further away and you still have the popping. So I don't know. I guess the promises of Nanite don't really appeal to me. The selling points of Nanite don't really appeal to me. Okay, I've gone on for way too long about Nanite. Anshu says to me, Unreal Engine 5 is like buying a phone with bloatware. Yeah, I can understand that. Sparkowitz says, I'm a big Godot booster. Very cool. Anshu says, Godot and Unity are just build what you need, but I understand coding is a learning curve. Yeah, I like just building what you need. I definitely like that. Sparkowitz says, I think engineering and technology is kind of different than artistic craft. There's a duty to apply new scientific research to problems. This is important in non-video game applications. Yeah, I mean, it's true for sure. I'm not even saying that I feel the right way about it. That is just the way I feel as an artist, I guess. As a dumb artist, I'm a Luddite. Mossville says, you're on top demos for farming genre. No way. Okay, special alert, Mossville has brought to us. That just has to be because... No, there's no way. I don't believe it. It's too soon to have anything categorized. Okay, inspection. We're going to a private window and we're going to go to Steam. I go to a private window because I don't want it to log in or know anything about me. So like, I don't want it to say like Songs of Glimmerwick, all your friends own it or something like that. Okay, let's click on Next Fist. And there's random and then there's personalized. We can't do personalized because we're in what is it called? We're in private mode. My brain is not a good brain. For farming sims, genres, let's see, farming sim. Can't even find farming sim here on the side. There's genres. C D F G H I J K L M N O P. Oh, they're not even alphabetized. How are we supposed to find anything if they're not alphabetized? What is this? Does anyone see farming sim? Oh, here it is. Is this... Link me to the page you're talking about, Mossvale. Subgenre, okay. Oh, is that what I'm in? Oh, I'm in... So now... Oh! Oh! Okay. So I think this is just random, though. Because look, we're right next to all sorts of games. So I think it's just random that it popped up here. But we are pretty far down, though. It's not like up here. But this is just random. It's got to be so far. But where's the top demos list? Go to the Next Fest Farming. Then bottom of the page, it says top demos. So I'm in the wrong place, right? Go to the Next Fest Farming. Okay, so I'm at Next Fest. There's on your wish list. There's browse all titles. So there must be some other page that I don't know of. This is Next Fest. It's a green box. I'm feeling very stupid right now. Maybe link me to the page. I clicked the farming tag on Glimmerwick's tags. Okay, let's see. Oh, so the only thing I can think of is like if I went to by genre and then I clicked on, there's no farming sim up here. It would have to be categories, expand. I don't even think farming sim is a top level. I think I'd have to go further down than this. Not going to be adventure RPG. Well, I could do like Songs of Glimmerwick. And then go to the farming sim tag. And then so we're not in this carousel, but these are all released games. So maybe, I don't know. I don't know what, I would love to find that carousel, Mossvale Studios. I don't know which one you're talking about. Because maybe, okay, you said top demos. So let's do Steam top demos. There's free demos. Is it just purely like top demos like this, and then we go to farming sim sort of thing? This is just new and trending. So now we're in the demos. That's it at the bottom of that page. It is also farming. It's RPG and farming. At the bottom of this page, there's a top demos page. Oh, okay. I don't even know if I've ever seen this. Okay. So we have some kind of visibility. Why do Why do we have different? This one says demo and this one says has a little disc. I wonder what that's all about. Huh. On this link in an incognito window, I see Glimmerwick on the second screen for top demos carousel. Let's see. Farming. Okay, the top demos. So this was the carousel at the bottom. Okay, so that is some visibility. That is definitely something. Well, this is lovely. That's good news. Thank you, Mossville. Sorry it took so long to find it. That is gruntling, to say the least. Let's see about peak concurrence. This is our peak concurrent. Here, I'll put this. This will be more interesting. This is not a ton of visibility, but it's something. Let me make this more interesting for everyone by putting, this is our concurrent player. So as you can see, we are currently at 22 and it's really not anything, you know, too exciting. Like if I go back, I mean, we've been, I guess the data gets less noisy, but see, we've even been at 17, we've been at 20. And then of course at the height of our demo drop, you know, we had 150 and 113. Steam says we've had up to 233. Yeah, there we go. So in terms of concurrent players, we're not really doing anything right now. Just got a little mini spike. And in terms of wish lists, I'll show you guys what we're looking at. In terms of wish list, this is our wish list on the day. 288. So it still hasn't updated for hours. So I don't know where we're at. We're probably at like 350 or something now. And then I guess the only other one left would be our marketing and visibility, but that doesn't update for a while, I don't think. I think maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. So that one's actually pointless to look at. But that's good. That's very good. It's very gruntling. Yes. Well, it's better than nothing. Okay. Now that we've had that little adventure, let's do class skull. Very nice. And we've got this little shadow under it. I don't even see it. Oh, because it wasn't actually above the ground. In fact, so we've got a lot of things that probably should have shadows over here. Did we like move the ground or something? Kind of weird. Okay, and then we can even move up our skull fellow here so that his teeth aren't clipping through the ground. And I want this shadow to sort of be a little askew, just so that it kind of matches what I'm seeing from the artwork. All right, and now I will duplicate another one. Actually, what is this little thing? A nav mesh obstacle. Okay, I guess we can leave a nav mesh obstacle in there. But now we've got another thing that we've got in our concepts. And that's this class fossil 1. So I'll grab this and we'll call this the fossil, class fossil. Then I'll get the sprite and we'll grab the material and I'll duplicate the material. Watching the stats for our game right now is not very exciting because I feel like nothing is happening. It doesn't feel very exciting. Yeah, I mean, our wish lists are like, they're just not really doing anything. So first day Next Fest, it says, Valve says that they order them randomly. So I don't think anything really is big is meant to happen, but I might be wrong and our game might be bombing. And that's why I just don't know. But I don't think we'll know until Wednesday. Then all the games will be ranked. And then, yeah, and then hopefully that will mean something. Class Fossil. I'm very thirsty. I really want some black tea. It's a little bit late for that, but maybe it's fine. It just sounds so good. Class Fossil. Gonna get some black iced tea. Class Fossil here. Let's put that in. Okay, very nice. We'll make this a little bit, map this a little bit better here. Make this a little bit taller like that. And then of course we're gonna have to scale it down. I like this fossil, it's cool. Matt's in Action says, is Steam Next Fest even such a big thing? I feel like mainly the big sales or summer winter sale are exciting ones for me as an average gamer at least. So Next Fest for most games is the biggest pre-launch event that you have for gathering wish lists. That's just really one of the only times that the Steam internal algorithm is pushing. The Steam internal algorithm is our god. We all bow down to Gaben because that is just where everybody who's looking to buy games goes. So everyone who has their wallets out and is ready to buy a game is looking around on Steam for the most part. And so we're all trying our best to get into festivals, get into showcases, get coverage, drive our own external traffic from whatever, from content marketing, YouTube, blog posts, Reddit, whatever you can do, social media. We're all driving traffic pre-launch so that we can get wish lists, because wish lists are the best indicator of your sales curve, your eventual sales curve. Wish lists are quite a good indicator of your eventual sales curve, not necessarily because wish lists are so important for people buying your game. It's just that the same forces that drive wish lists are the same forces that tend to drive sales. So I pretty much know that. I'm like this close. I guess I don't necessarily know it for sure. It's all a bit of a black box. But I think that we all pretty much agree that the reason why games with a lot of wish lists sell is not necessarily directly because they have all the wish lists. It's because if you're good at driving wish lists, it's probably true that your game is just a game that people want to buy when they see it. And so then you start making a lot of sales. In terms of wish list gathering events, Next Fest is king. And I know as a player, you say you feel like your Next Fest is not that exciting to you. And that's true. Most people don't play Steam demos at all. So it's just a tiny subsection of Steam that gets excited about going and playing a bunch of free demos. But it just so happens that that is one of the best times for you to get wish lists and to sort of prove yourself in the Steam algorithm. So even though it's not necessarily exciting for everyone, it's kind of like your shot pre-launch. So Next Fest is super important. And if your game sort of does poorly at Next Fest, it's highly likely that your game will do poorly in the market. But you're right. I mean, you certainly get way more traffic on a big sale, and you are going to get way more, you're actually going to get actual money on a big sale. So once you launch, this cat is sort of out of the bag, and then Steam doesn't give a crap about your wish list. All Steam cares about is revenue. And absolutely, like if we look at our wish list count for Eastshade, it was like 28,000 pre-launch, and it just like explodes to 150,000 after we come out. So yeah, everything post-launch is definitely going to be bigger and more important than pre-launch, but we're all sort of waiting with bated. Once it's post-launch, we all know what our sales curve is going to be because we've already seen our first week of sales, and we already can kind of guess what our lifetime revenue is going to be. But pre-launch, we don't really know so much. So that's why we all get very excited at our Next Fest performance, and we all wait with bated breath to see how we're going to do, because if we do well, it gives us a little glimpse into the future of what our future might look like. So that's why Next Fest is so exciting to developers, even if it's not necessarily exciting to every player. Okay, Koya Koopa says, maybe you sell 5 million copies. Yeah, that's not going to happen, but I like your energy. Mosvale says, gruntling sounds like a cozy pain. I really like that that parallel Mossvale. Yes, I can picture a bunch of piggies gruntling together, being very happy and cozy. Yes. Mossvale says, I think a game like yours I would wishlist and buy without a demo, but some games I would only wishlist if I like the demo. Gotcha, gotcha. Good to know. Kate says, it's a very wise point. From personal expect, I often catch myself scrolling through games on fests and wishlisting some of them. Sometimes I lay my hands on demos if I spy game of couple of if I spy game on a couple of fests. Yes, and I think that's an important point too. Sometimes it takes repeated exposure to actually finally get someone interested. It's like the first time they see it, they've never heard of it, and they're like, "Well, I've never heard of that. I don't care about it." And then they hear it a second time, and they're like, "Oh yeah, that one game. No, I don't really care." And then the third time, they're like, "Okay, I keep seeing this thing. What is this thing?" And then they go and look at it, and they're like, "Oh, this is the game for me. I've been waiting for this game my whole life. How come I didn't see it before?" I kind of find that that's the case. But yes, the majority of wishlist you get on NextFest are not even from people who downloaded your demo. It's like 80% of people who wishlist your game on NextFest did not even play your demo. People just sort of get in the mood, you know, to go browse future games, and they get excited about future games, and they're just sort of browsing. And yeah, they're playing a couple demos here and there, but sometimes they're just seeing a game and they're like, that looks cool, I'll wishlist it, sort of thing. Kate says, I assume it's because I don't have the free time to play everything I would like. That's true. I mean, there's a broad range of um of time. Kate, are you? I always forget. I always mix up people in the chat. Are you the one who said you have children who are a little bit older? I'm sorry if I'm confusing you with someone. Gotcha, gotcha. Mossville says, I sometimes think if your game is under a certain price or it's a short game, is it worth doing a demo? The current Steam meta is that you should definitely do a demo. Just because Next Fest is a massive wishlist gathering opportunity. It's a massive exposure opportunity. So if you don't do a demo, you're missing out on Next Fest, and Next Fest is kind of the best pre-launch thing you have potentially for most games. Not all of them, but I feel like the demo is kind of the new Steam meta. Also, there's tremendous value in a demo. Like, we learned a bit about our sort of onboarding. We got a lot of we were able to fix a lot of bugs in our demo. We got information about sort of how people respond to the game. It's kind of like an early access, but you don't have to do an early access. So I think a demo is right now is really good. And I think a lot of players expect it now, and we're moving in that direction. And I think it's good for the industry, and it's good for players as well. Because, yeah, you know, having to prove it to them with a demo, I think it's good. That it also really it aligns everybody's priorities, right? That suddenly the best way to sell a game becomes to actually make a good game. Of course, I guess you could say, well, technically it becomes make a good demo, but it's so much easier to make a good demo if you have a good game. If you're just making a good demo and you don't make a good game, well, then you're really playing four-dimensional chess. I almost wonder if it's just easier to make a good game than just have a good demo from it. Anyway. Okay, gotcha. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to grab some tea. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. I was having a little meeting with Jack. Oh, this game looks cool. I thought that looked fun. Forest creatures. I like woodland fantasy stuff naturally. Something that I enjoy. I'm interested to see if it sells because I want to know if everybody likes woodland creatures or if it's just me and I'm a weirdo. I also want to know if what the furry community has to say. I don't necessarily want to summon the furry community if I am to do a game with woodland creatures. So, I mean, maybe they'll come, but what I really don't want is I don't want other non-furries to think that it's a furry game. That's not what I want. Yeah, I don't want to like accidentally dog whistle to the furries, I guess is what I'm saying. Because I just like woodland fantasy. I've always liked Frog and Toad. I've always liked Winnie the Pooh. I just like anthropomorphized. I don't know if I said that right. Okay, what's been going on here? I think 10 years ago, Steam still had Greenlight program, which was significantly different from how accessible it's now to just push a game to Steam. Yeah, Greenlight was pretty easy to get through though, so I don't know if it changed that much. Fests weren't that important to make your game pop. The whole process was very different. Yeah, definitely. I mean, festivals, there was no Steam Next Fest, and demos weren't really a thing. Greenlight didn't really do anything either. I think traditional media had a lot more influence. Traditional websites like, your Kotakus and stuff had a lot more power, but we were already seeing the rise of like the content creator and the social media influencers and or like YouTube and stuff. So they were still important. But yeah, I do think that the press had more impact. Must be the biggest brew of tea ever devised. It's not so big, is it? It's a reasonable size. Oh, you were saying because it was taking so long. I gotcha. No, it's just because I was having that meeting with Jacqueline. Hello, by the way, Moro. I don't think I've met you before. Welcome. Bruna, hello and welcome. Says, are we going to have any news now that Steam Next Fest has started? No, we're just gonna let Next Fest do its thing. Actually, the whole demo launch this was all timed for Next Fest, so we've already had our news. Our news was the demo, and now Next Fest hopefully is doing its thing. Oh, 1 minute, folks. Oh my goodness. My son has a new game where he knocks on my door and then I say come in and then he yells to the rest of the household, he said come in, but then proceeds to not come in. All right. So let's see. That fossil looks nice. We've got another one. Let's put another one over here and then take a look at our concepts. Let's exit out of this. I hope I'm doing this right. Yeah, one more fossil kind of next to the rock. Got a different texture. I'm going to duplicate this one. Mossville makes the joke. I think they like it when you dog whistle, actually. Yeah, well, I don't want to do it. I don't want to summon on purpose. Class fossil 2. Lord Montre says, is your child a cat? Kind of. I would say he's more warm than a cat. But yeah, he does fake me out a bit these days. Don't know why he enjoys knocking on my door. Catrella says, I was going to say it sounds a lot like my cat's game of yelling at me from the top of the stairs, but not caring when I come to see what he wants. Oh, they just want the attention. Oh man, I'm so glad I don't have animals. Just can't take care of another creature. Okay, how does that look? Seems like Jacqueline's are a little bit smaller, so maybe I'll make them a little bit smaller, a little bit more spread out. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so what else? What is going on here? We've got her, so let's... I don't think we... I'll leave those mushrooms around. Fairy Child. Oops. Let's put her... Take her global. And then... So she's like kind of here. On next to the fossil. And then... We've got this fossil. We can kind of move this over here a little bit. I reckon. And she needs to be doing a different animation, which, let's see, what kind of animation do we have? She's doing an idle. So her idle is always jumping. I don't know if that is going to work. There's an idle 2. I don't actually know what idle 2 is, but we'll have to figure it out. Mott's in Action says, what kind of fossil is that? I don't know, but Jacqueline drew it. Mossville says, Hawthorne is an interesting game. It was a Kickstarter project from Bethesda, BioWare, and Naughty Dog devs inspired by Redwall. Awesome. I have not read Redwall, but maybe I should, because I really like the woodland fantasy stuff, and I particularly really like rodents. I don't like them in my house. It's really weird how much I love mice and rats and things in fantasy, but how much I hate them when I see them. We saw one in our garage. I've killed a few with the traps. It's very scary when they scuttle about. I once saw one scuttling and I literally threw my back out. I did that. It scares you on a very visceral level. It's just very surprising to see an animal that big. You expect like a spider. That's scary enough, but this thing is chunky. I think I'm gonna have to read the Redwalls if I ever find time to read anything ever again. Is that a thing that you can do as a parent? Can you read? That just seems like it would be completely impossible if I had an hour to read. Okay, so maybe we should make this skull a little bit smaller because it is quite massive. I'm having some trouble fitting everyone in here. Oh, it also seems a little bit unbelievable that they would even be able to move it here. Look, so Jacqueline's is quite a bit smaller anyway. So let's just make it a little bit smaller. There, that's nice. I basically refused to read anything that didn't involve woodland creatures for a time. Interesting. You were that into it. It sounds so much like I was as a kid. I would just get sort of locked into something and that would be the only thing I care about. That's how my son is right now. He's 100% car-based life form. Every morning I ask him if he had any dreams. Every night I suspect, makes up a dream about all the cars he envisioned in his sleep. And he's only interested in cars when we go outside. He doesn't care about trees or anything else, just cars. He's very sort of focused, which is how I am. Hey, Nani says, that's because Mr. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim is OP. Yeah, I do like Secret of Nim. Carry so many diseases. Yes, they do. Glad to hear another Redwall fan. I really got to read it. My book club read it a few months ago. Okay. All right, I'll have to check it out. Didn't your son come to visit you and ask to come in yet? He just did. Yeah, like 10 minutes ago. He didn't come in. He just asked to come in, and then he left. I just saw him downstairs, though. Lord Matri says Redwall is definitely something to read to with your kids. Awesome. Mossvale Studios says, you would love Redwall. I'm surprised you haven't read it. Try Martin the Warrior or Mossflower. They inspired me to start GameDev, actually, and the Mossvale name comes from Mossflower. Oh, wow. Wow. We got all the Redwall folks in here. I didn't realize the series was that popular. I mean, I know it's somewhat popular, but it sounds pretty ubiquitous. We got basically everyone in chat has read Redwall. That's cool. Okay, so we've really got all the kids surrounded. We've got the sadder child, then the little girl and the little boy, so which I can never remember. I can't remember anybody's name in this game. Gosh darn. 200 characters here. Can we even see her? She is pretty small over there. And the little boy. Let's get him a little bit more in on this. Okay, that's cool. What else? Oh, the sadder child. And is she facing right or left? She's facing left. Wow. Hey, audiobook, maybe I could do that. I do spend a lot of my day just feeding bottles to my little baby. At least an hour a day, so. I've got that bug where the fields are like focus and then unfocus themselves, so I do have to exit out of Unity now, unfortunately. I don't think I need to save GameCore, but I kind of moved my avatar, so I will. Mossvale Studio says, in the UK, it's like the kids book. Interesting. I did not know that. Matson says, naming them in Unity by their real name would help instead of Child 1. Right, but we don't know their real name until like 5 years into development. So at first they're Child 1, Child 2, and then and then they kind of stick like that, all their game objects. Hey, Jingo, welcome, welcome. I'm just wondering if the Steam Next Fest is the same demo as before. Love the game, excited for the release. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you for saying that. Yes, it's the same exact demo. We did not expand it or anything like that. I know people they're asking like, is there anything new? It's like, hopefully it's just a good demo and we just need the one demo. We're not looking to, I mean, I guess, I don't know if it would necessarily help us to bring the same players back to the demo, but typically if you can just get people to download the demo, you know, if they like it, then they're just waiting for the full release, and that's what we're putting all of our energy into right now. We're not focused on just updating demo content or anything like that. We're just all locked in for the full release. Hey, Nani says, I've been doing audiobooks from the library. Murderbot, also excellent on audio. Murderbot, it sounds not like something my speed. Just want to know if I should bother playing. I gotcha. Oops, exit out of that. Okay, I do have exterior world. Oh no. This is very bad, actually. This is very, very bad. I've made a change to exterior world. I didn't sync. I'm a loser. What is wrong with me? Oh, God. Oh, God. No. Okay. It's okay. Deep breath. We can prefab it. We can fix this. It's going to be annoying. We can do it. Luigi, hello. Welcome. Nice to meet you. So I'm about to finish my 3D game made in custom engine, Trine 2 quality, but I'm afraid of not making a lot of sales due to nobody knowing about it. Is game dev a hustle? I don't know what you mean by is game dev a hustle. Well, if your game looks like Trine 2, that's good, because Trine 2 looks very good. Is your game of similar quality and scope and game design and all that? Trine 2 kind of came out in a different time, but I will say that the Steam algorithms are very, very good. And for the most part, you know, if you make a game that sort of blows people away, you've got a good shot. But you definitely want to do all your basic stuff. You want to do your announcement beat. You want to do your demo announcement and your demo release. You want to, you know, send out your game to influencers. You want to try to find streamers and Let's Players who might be interested in the game. Try to get them to play the demo. You're going to have to do your next fest. And what else? Then your release date announcement, beat. And through all of this, you are going to want to apply to showcases and festivals. You're going to want to find the ones that make sense for your game. Try to get in on a few at least. And then sort of make as much hoopla as you can. Come out with a new trailer maybe for your release, or maybe even a couple along the way. There's a lot of different ways to plan it, and yes, you have to put a lot of effort into it. Surely, though, if you've made a game of the level of Trine 2, this stuff shouldn't be anything compared to that much work. I just saw Trine 6 in my Next Fest queue. Are they seriously on to Trine 6? I'll say the same thing everyone does. Make a good game and do the Steam marketing plan. Yeah, exactly. I think that's good advice, Mossville. We all pretty much do the same stuff. It's just some of it, you know, for some of us it works better than others. And for some games it works better than others because some games people just want to play. They just have more appeal. Side-scrolling platformers do not sell very well, but if it looks of the caliber of Trine 2, which is really a lot, it's very remarkable. It's actually crazy that you're even asking me about this. If you made a game that looks like Trine 2, usually by the time people get that far along, they've already consumed all of the Chris Sikowski content and they sort of know what the meta is. And maybe you do. But I don't know anything special. I mean, I just do the normal stuff pretty much. We have a PR firm and they do a lot of the work of like reaching out to streamers and content creators and reaching out to press as well. And Key Distro, they help a little bit with ideation and planning and stuff. Send out the press, write and send out the press releases for the different beats. But yeah, somebody's got to do that work. Luigi says, and streamer hype is what matters. A big streamer plays the game, people follow like sheep. This is concerning because that is not at all how it works. The whole like one streamer will break the game is, from my perspective and the perspective of most people who sell games successfully, it's definitely a myth. It's not how it works. Usually by the time a big streamer plays the game, you've got a ton of other smaller streamers that have played it. You've got a ton of wish lists. The streamers do what the players, like the forces of interest drive the streamers. It's not that the streamers drive the forces of interest. So I think you have it backwards. I really do. I think that people believe that myth at their own peril. It's not just like get the one big streamer and the dam will break. Your game has a certain soul. It has certain wheels. And if people fundamentally want your game, everything you do will work. Like you post on social media, it'll work a little bit. You do Next Fest, it'll work. You apply for showcases and festivals, you'll get into some of them. You put a trailer out on YouTube, it'll do some numbers. Like everything you try will work to varying degrees. Different things will work better or worse depending on the game, depending on the genre and all that. But the dam that breaks is not how I've seen any game. It's like you can count on one hand the games that have that kind of story, and it is not the story of the other, 7,000 games on Steam that have made over, let's say $500,000 or something like that. I don't know if that's the exact number, but something like that. So definitely, research a lot of games and sort of look at their marketing beats and their efforts and everything and all the content that they did, and sort of like look at their campaign, and if they have a blog you can look at that, or their social media, and try to see all the stuff that they did. But I would definitely try to maybe just read the Chris Sikowski Steam marketing plan, and I think that will be good. Okay, Luigi says, I don't know anything about Steamer marketing. I just made the game from scratch. It's tower defense, not a platformer. Wait. Okay, so quality of Trine 2. You just meant visual quality. But still, I have negative feelings about the release. Does it have a Steam page already? Exactly. Matsun says, the streamer often only plays the game because it is good. Yes, exactly. I would say the streamer plays the game because it's a game they want to play. I try not to use the it is good thing, because good means so many different things to so many different people, and good doesn't seem to land on most people. Most people think that good means, delivered on its own design goals for itself, which may or may not be of interest to the general public. For instance, you can make a very good Minesweeper type of game. Maybe it even has a twist, but it looks like Minesweeper, or like it has Minesweeper-like mechanics, and nobody buys it on Steam. And anyone can argue that, maybe it is a good game in the fact that the designer really had this, idea to sort of add this twist to Minesweeper to make it a lot more interesting. And maybe it was good in that sense. The idea was good. The sort of change it made to Minesweeper was cool and inventive. But that's not what's going to sell on Steam, because nobody is looking to play a game like Minesweeper. Almost nobody, anyway. So anyhow, that's another topic. Oh my gosh, we're touching all of my... There's some topics I just can't help but gab about, and I just need to shut up. Luigi says, I understand your points. So one last question. If I release the game without any wish list, just cold release, a nice Steam page, will it be buried forever? It's a good question. I would say that if your game really has wheels, if your game is truly, remarkable and people are blown away by the Steam page, I would say no, it won't be buried forever. You will pop a little bit. Many hobbyists would disagree with me on that, but most successful devs, I think, would probably agree with me. The Steam systems alone seem to be pretty good at dredging up the things people really want to play, because it's player driven. So if you think that when people see your Steam page, they will be blown away at a high conversion rate, people will be clicking wishlist and people will be buying it, then it's possible you can pop on Steam. But I think it would be silly to do that, because if you made a game that looks like Trine 2, then you must have put so much work into the game to have it be of that caliber. I mean, Trine 2 looks really good. So I think it would be very stupid, because you probably put in like a couple $100,000 of production production budget into the game in terms of work. I don't know if you actually put in that much money, but something on that scope in terms of like time, money, or however you want to quantify it, to not do the extra, 10, 20 grand of work to do a marketing campaign just seems very silly. To not do all the basic stuff, like to not do a demo, to not do Next Fest. This is crazy. You're just throwing away stuff that might make your game sell 20%, 30%, 40% more. And I would worry, we just have never seen it, because no dev that is serious enough to make a really quality game is going to give up on all that stuff. I don't know if your game actually does look like trying to, because most people who have a really a game of that caliber, they're already thinking about, they're serious enough about it to where they're doing all this other stuff. But that sounds crazy to me, to just try to like shadow drop your game. Okay, Hey Nani says, I tend to watch streamers play games I don't plan on buying. Interesting. And I agree with you, Danny. Streamers play what the bulk of viewers want, which is something trending. Yes, absolutely. Like, people think that everyone, like, the whole notion that people are like sheep and they do what the streamer does, no, that's completely backwards. That's a completely backwards way to look at it. Streamers are the sheep. Streamers are the ones that are just serving the community. Also, streamers are players, so they're just playing what they want to play. They are subject to the exact same forces of interest as players. Really, it's a nice system. It's not like that. Everyone thinks that, oh, we'll just get this one big streamer and then the dam will break. No, you can get the one big streamer and nobody will buy your game. But you won't get the one big streamer, because the one big streamer wants to play stuff that they're interested in, and they also want to play stuff that everyone else is playing. Ants Plant Nature, hello and welcome, says, I like your video. How quality is the best marketing? Yes, I wouldn't exactly phrase it like that, but thank you for watching the video. Mossville says, you see that demo called The Trees Hate You? It's because it's funny to watch, not so much to play solo. Oh, gotcha. I haven't seen that one. Sparklewitz says, this is what I love about indie games. It's always the love of the game. Lord Montry says, Trine 5 made 1.4 million according to GameStats. Series keeps on trucking. Yeah. Mossvale says, I wouldn't release these days without at least 10K wish lists. There are so many games released every day, you'll get buried. I don't think you'll, if you have a game with real earning potential that was destined for like, let's say a 50,000 wishlist path, if you do the normal stuff and you just shadow drop it, I genuinely don't think you'll get buried if your game has wheels. But you won't know if your game has wheels because you've never tested it. So you don't know if you can gather wishlists. You don't know how you would do a Next Fest. So you'll have basically no information going in. But if you have a Steam page, I forget who is, if you're still around, Luigi, if you have a Steam page, I can look at your Steam page. It might not be a good idea to just assume, I mean, maybe it does look like Trine 2, but we can look at it. We'll let you know if it looks like Trine 2. If it has that kind of potential. Okay. Lord Montry says, looking like Minesweeper might not be too bad, because this Next Fest I've seen a number of games with very Windows XP aesthetics. Okay, well, maybe that's a blind spot of mine. Maybe that is the in vogue. Werbus, hello and welcome back. Well, thank you, Luigi. Appreciate you watching the YouTube vids. Even 20,000 would be life-changing. All right, rock on. Hey, Nani is telling people not to push my buttons. Luigi says, I don't have a Steam page, but I do have an OpenGL Reddit link where I posted a small vid. What's it? OpenGL Reddit link. It's a small vid. I can watch a vid. What's a good way to market an app without a budget? An app? Are you talking about like a mobile? There's no hope for mobile. You can't market a mobile game. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know anything about mobile. I literally have no idea. It's completely, it has nothing to do with premium games. Different audience, different kinds of games, different goals for the games, different species of person. that is trying to play your game, different reasons for playing your game, different passion levels. Just everything is different about it. They're completely different industries. I have no idea about mobile. Lord Matri says, funny you talk about Minesweeper because Steam just put Minesweep together in front of me. That's funny. That's really funny. Warbus says, yes, Steam page. I need to bring myself to make one. Ryan JQ says, how is the World Cup where you are? Busy? The World Cup? I don't know anything about the World Cup. Is that what's happening right now? Is it a FIFA thing? I should have one from a long time. Luigi says, just to let you know, the game has changed for the better graphics wise ever since that day. Well, I can take a peek at it if you want. I can tell you if I think it's gonna pop or not. Old vid or not. The last thing we have to do is put this kid on the rock. Luigi says, don't be kind to me. I will always try to be kind. I never want to be mean or unnecessarily critical. I only will say what I will always try to be nice. I always try to do my best. I never am trying to be mean. Sometimes I am mean, but not on purpose. I don't want to be a dick, especially on Reddit. I think it's because on GameDev Reddit, man, everyone is so full of the copium that I just can't. It's not that I want to be a dick to them, but I sound like a dick to them because I know I'm right and I know they're wrong. So you see here's me sounding like a dick part. And everyone is so data free and everyone is so uncurious about the truth. And they all just say stuff like, no, there's tons of buried gems on Steam. And I'm always like, link me one. Show me the buried gem or the hidden gem or whatever. And they're like, most of the time, and this just happened to me, they're like, my game is a hidden gem. And then they link me their game. And it's like, well, now you're going to make me sound like a dick because now I have to be like, no, your game's not a hidden gem. Look at the other games in the revenue brackets above you. There's not a single one that doesn't mop the floor with yours. So that's how I end up sounding like a dick on GameDev Reddit. Okay. Amber Fisher, hello and welcome, says Reddit. GameDev Reddit is such a cesspool. It is such a cesspool. There's so much copium. Everyone is high on copium. Koi Koopa says, you are a nice man, mate. I try. I don't know. Sometimes on the internet, I don't feel like one. Reddit can't handle the truth. It certainly seems that way, man. They hate me there. I'm constantly downvoted. Lord Montry says, GameDev Reddit feels like it's mostly people who don't spend enough time actually making games. And maybe I'm one of them. Amber Fisher says, they can't link it to you because it's a hidden gem. Oh my God. Amber Fisher, you hit the button. I mean, that's exactly what they say. They always say that, but they're always like, well, if it's a hidden gem, how are we going to find it? And I lose my freaking mind. Like, I cannot handle it because it's just like, oh my God, we're not goo goo gaga brain babies. We can actually go looking. We can look through Steam. Like, you don't have to just look at the front page of Steam. They're like, how am I going to find it? It's a hidden gem. I'm just a baby consumer. I don't know anything. I can't actually do market research. I can't go look at a game with less than 10 reviews. I can't go look at a game with 100 reviews and see what it looks like. Dude, there's like 1,000 tools. We have like game stats. You can just like list every game between certain revenue brackets with particular tags on it. There's like Gamealytics is another one. It's free. You can look by tag. You can sort them by revenue. You can just start clicking. You can do a case study on 20 games. What is the quality benchmark? How good do these games look? What is their scope? How polished are they? What does the performance look like? What do the reviews say? What is the review percentage? Let me play a couple of them. Like, you can actually do research and actually learn how good a game needs to be on Steam to actually sell. But they're just like, well, they're hidden, so we would never know about them. It's impossible to know. My God, that is just it. Okay, Sparkowitz says, here's a hidden gem, not my game. You are right, though. Infinicrypt is just cool. Wait, what is this? Is this actually a game? Is this actually a hidden gem, Sparkowitz? This is a game that you're saying should have sold better? Okay, but like instantly, maybe this game is awesome. It only has 15 reviews, so it definitely didn't sell well, but like instantly, yeah, maybe the game is really, really awesome, but like the art is not gonna be appealing to a lot of people. Like it doesn't show itself. It's like you really have to be a certain kind of gamer to give this game a chance, right? You've got to be someone who is really okay with these kinds of like very retro, very sort of low fidelity. So it didn't have a lot of art muscle or art seriousness. It's hard to sell a game like that. What is the genre? Bullet hells don't sell that well. Roguelikes sell okay though, so it's a roguelike. But let's see the trailer. Slay monsters, okay. The colors are really... The game looks ghastly. It looks very ugly. Explore the crypts. There is sound, so that's good. It has like Game Boy-esque sound. Thank you for your purchase. This is good. I like the little things popping up. I like the camera move. That's nice. Collect items and grow strong. I think, okay, so like, I'm gonna stop watching this trailer now, but the trailer's not terrible, but like, if you're gonna have a game this low-po, I think that your trailer better be bomb diggity ding dong, right? Like the editing needs to be incredible. Like there needs to be something here that blows people's minds, and maybe the game is mind-blowing once you play it, but it's really hard to tell anything mind-blowing by the store page. This is why I don't like using the word good game when with regards to, just make a good game and it'll sell well. You need to make a game people want. And I like describing it that way because it puts more focus on genre and it puts more focus on the apparent quality from the Steam page. It's not just a game that is amazing when you play it beginning to end. It's a game that people... that is like the quality is apparent in the store page. That's very important. And in that sense, the market is rational. This capsule is pretty cool. I like the capsule. I think it's pretty inventive. I will agree, though, that 15 reviews seems very low. I think that the quality I'm seeing here that is apparent is higher than 15 reviews, although it just came out. It just came out in April. So, you know, this game could get to 50 reviews. It could even get to 100 reviews. We're pretty early in its sales curve. So yeah, I would call this maybe an underrated game just based on its review count. I would expect more like 40 reviews, but it's not. No, I would be blown away if a game like this got 1,000 reviews. I would be like, what the hell is going on? It would really surprise me. So that's my review of Infinicrypt, which I've never heard of before this point. Ryan JQ says social media is a cancer on society, and I absolutely agree with that. How can you not? Hayden on Nani says Reddit hating you makes me like you more. No, really? I don't like being hated on Reddit. I don't like being hated by anyone. I really don't want anyone to hate me. I want to be liked. Yeah. It's a curse. I'm glad I've brought you all joy. Okay. Sparkowitz says, I don't know about should have sold better. It's just a cool game. Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha. Werbus says, there are whole channels on social media. What whole thing is to dig up hidden gems and post screens from them for others to find. That's cool. It was pretty cool, but when Twitter changed to X, okay. Follow list stopped working. Gotcha. Cacciarella says, I'm always fascinated by gamers who play more for mechanics than the art. Since I'm pretty much the opposite, I will play sometimes exclusively based on the art and atmosphere. I gotcha. Yeah, I mean, for me, I like both, but like there's so many games that I want a game that looks beautiful as well. I just feel like that's an important part of the equation. And if you shit the bed on the art, I think it's highly likely that you shit the bed on everything else. Because if you didn't care enough about your game to do justice to the visuals, and we are visual creatures, like it or not. I mean, some of us are blind, but most of us have vision, and most mammals in general are more visual than anything else. So that's like a very important interface with the player. And if you're squandering it, I don't trust you anymore. Like, I don't think that you have anything that special for me. I know it's not true that every game that looks ugly is an uninteresting or bad game. I know there are some bangers out there that look really ugly. I know that. But I think most of the time it does serve me well. This game looks really trashy and ugly and gaudy. It's 99% of the time the game is actually just a bad game in every way, not just the visuals. Because most game designers that care very deeply about their game to want to blow people away and execute on every level, they're going to care about how their game looks too, right? They're not just going to give up on that fight. They're not going to give up on any fight. They're going to try to make the UIs look great, the animations look great, the visuals look great. They're going to want great art direction. They're going to want all of their mechanics to be, synthesized together and working well together. They're going to want it to be balanced. They're going to want all the things. They're going to care about the game in every way. That's how I feel about it. I'm really talking too much. I gotta shut up. It's too much. I'm annoying myself. Luigi says, let me know what you think about the small vid. Did I miss it? I think I might have missed it. This game appears sauceless. Okay, that's a good word, Lord Matri. I might say like it lacks kinesthetically, but I'm an old guy. Plan to sell it for $4 to $6. I like the music. I think you're very right about it. It could be good, but you don't know by seeing it. Exactly. And that's kind of a problem on Steam. And on Twitter is now a Nazi playground dumpster fire. I can't disagree with you there, Ryan JQ. There certainly seems to be, yes, that seems to be the case. Amber Fisher says, I want to spend time in a beautiful world. Agreed. Totally agreed. The game isn't beautiful. I don't know why I want to stay there. Exception Undertale. There you go. There's always exceptions, but I know what you're saying for sure. Beautiful doesn't mean clean and happy. It just means beautiful, thoughtful art. Absolutely. 100% agree. Some kind of atmosphere that is, that is planned and intended and careful, and there's a lot of love put into it. I totally understand. Depends on the type. A Mega Bonk looks really basic, but the mechanics are great, balanced and deep. Pure dopamine rush. I haven't played that one. Yeah. Make everything as good as you can. I wish Ishii was a real place. Thanks, Ryan GQ. Appreciate that. I do too. Let me try to find the video. I think I missed it. So there's the Moobot above the hidden gem. Let me try to. Thanks for bumping it, by the way. Sorry, I missed it. No, I don't. Luigi, I'm scrolling up through the chat and I'm not seeing the video. Is it possible it got auto moderated? Let's see. You're on YouTube. Why can't I find it? I'm not finding Luigi. Yeah, I just see Sparkowitz's video. I don't see your video, Luigi. Does anyone else see Luigi's video? Sure, Werbus. I don't play games, but I will look at them. What the heck? Okay, so I have to Google it. Sure, I'll do that. Take a peek. Let's take a peek. Take a peek at Luigi's game. Okay. Okay, we're starting. This is very raw and wriggling. That's cool. Yeah, I like all these little flowers and stuff. The UIs look nice and clean. I'm concerned about this. Are you... these are beautiful. Are you an artist, or do you have an artist on the team? This isn't AI art, right? The mountains look a little bit... I'm thinking there's a lot of towers here. There's a lot of stuff going on these patterns and things. It's incredibly busy, but I do like it. Let's see. Yeah, I really like the color palette on this. This looks very nice. You must have a bomb diggity ding dong artist. I just want to make sure it's not AI art. It's not hitting me on the quality of Trine by any means. I've got to be honest. I could like unpack some things about the art that I don't think, like this path is very smooth, right? There's no like tattering. It doesn't look very natural. It looks very 3D. That's just a random little nit. I could probably come up with like 100 of them, but I don't think the art level is on the caliber of Trine 2 by any means. This is not a sure thing. I don't think that this game would necessarily pop. That would be my guess. I haven't looked at the tower defense genre and how strong it is, but it's definitely not like blow people away quality. Like people would see this and they'd be like, oh my God, I have to tell my friends about this. It's not on that level. Matson Action says, my AI sense is tingling. Mine is too, and it's hard. AI accusations, I guess just because I'm seeing kind of a mismatch between the 3D here and the, and this is very high detail and very high production. But if this is AI art, I can guarantee you your game has no shot, and it shouldn't. I mean, nobody's going to want to buy a game with a significant amount of AI art in it. Fab has tons of free assets. You just need to pick a style and choose assets to match it. But yeah, we're not on Trine 2 level. Guys, let's look at Trine 2. Like that was a very big claim. Because I know Trine, especially when it came out, I was really impressed with it. I was like, wow, this looks pretty awesome. So Trine 2, I'm just going to type in Trine 2 gameplay. I'm going to see, is it just like gameplay, no commentary?
Once upon a time, there were 3 valiant heroes.
Look at the production value on this. We've got like great voice acting already. We have real art. I don't know if yours is AI art, Luigi, but I know that this one is real art because this is pre-AI art. Trine 2 just has this like almost Thomas Kincaid sort of ridiculously saturated fantasy. And then look, oh no, yeah, it wasn't just, I was like, because I was trying to remember, I remember trying to kind of being visually mind blowing when it came out. It was just like nobody had done this. It's kind of a trope now, this super Thomas Kincaid, absolutely over the top, super bright lighting. But I'm going to go ahead, now that I've seen Trine 2, just one screenshot. This art is on a completely different stratosphere than yours. Like, it really is. The art direction, all of the assets, the compositions, the color palette, the values. When I squint my eyes, I'm seeing this incredible like explosion of fantasy whimsy. It's not even close. It's not even close. And there's so much variety in the biomes and stuff. Like, Trine 2 is a great looking game. I mean, it's a little bit oversaturated for my taste, but it is incredible. And it really knows what it wants to be art direction wise. And there's just so much detail here. You've got this parallaxing thing, and it was like, it's kind of new for a full 3D, 2D, or like 2D gameplay, like side-scrolling platformer. At least when it first came out. And now, of course, we're on the new Trines. I don't even want to know what the new Trines look like. I bet they look ridiculous. But no, this looks really, 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 really good. So I think there's a huge gap between this and Trine 2. Huge gap in art direction, huge gap in asset quality. Yeah. Even the sort of like little flourishes like on the UI and stuff, it's a lot. It's a big gap. That is my official review. The Trine 2 led me on a little. Let's see. Okay, Luigi says, let's see. There's a tower. Oh, Mossvale says there was a tower defense game called Tangy, and the dev went viral for his reaction to his profits on stream. This feels like a low effort shot at reproducing that. Okay. Sparkowitz says, even if it was on Trine 2 level, it's pretty rough if you were shooting for a 15-year-old. Yeah, I mean, I do still think if a game looked as good as Trine 2, it could sell, because Trine 2 still looks beautiful, but I know what you're saying, yeah. Luigi says, why is my game low efforts? Been 5 years of hard work. I don't think he's talking about literally the effort you've put in specifically. I think just generally, it's just telling you the impression. Okay, our AI placeholder, that's correct. Okay. Well, I don't know what the quality of those will be, because those, I mean, AI art looks good. I'm not one of these people who thinks that AI art looks terrible. It does look good, but I hate it, and it makes me feel desolate, and it makes almost all of us feel desolate, and nobody wants to play games with it in it. So if you were to replace those with an artist, and could you find an artist that could produce at that sort of quality with that read? I think it would be hard, but maybe you could. But yeah, I would say that those AI art slides were on artistically on a completely different level than the 3D stuff I was seeing in the game. And this is one of the things that people also don't like about AI art. It robs them of a critical sniff test. Like, when people see a beautiful game and they know, either they can tell or the developer says so, that it's not AI art, they're like, oh shit, like this dev has the ponies to make something this beautiful. That makes me want to pay attention to this game, because if they cooked that up and I'm looking at that and that's gorgeous, they have a trust there, and there should be a trust there. It's hard to make stuff look beautiful. And if you have great artists on your team, that builds trust. And when you have the AI art, then I think it destroys the trust. People are like, what are we even looking at then? We don't know anything about the quality of what you're able to produce, or the power of your ponies or anything like that. So I think that's another reason why people really don't like AI art. Everything else is made by me in Blender and textured. Well, it's a valiant effort, and I think you should be proud. I don't see that game popping. But your revenue goals are reasonable. I mean, you said $20,000 lifetime net revenue, right? I don't know. I mean, I haven't looked at the tower defense genre. I don't know how far along that is. But what I saw there could not put together a trailer that would be on the level to like pop. in my opinion. You just have to look at the tower defense genre and see what kind of stuff makes, around $20,000 net revenue, and sort of compare your game in an honest way to those. The bloom is over the top. I know, it totally is. That's like their thing. They were just like, we're just going to go ham. Are you coming with us on this journey to cheeseball? And I love it. I love that they know exactly what they want to be. Yeah, Mossville. Okay, so Ryan JQ says, how do we fight AI? What should we do? Dude, I don't know, man. Shit on every product that uses it. I mean, I'm always tempted to, but I mean, people, they really don't like AI. People don't like it. They don't want to buy stuff with AI in it. Werbus says, the art on the cover of the comic should reflect the quality of the art inside. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. And it should be consistent. I agree with that as well. Yeah. And the AI art, it gives a real bad sniff to people. Like they don't like the scent of it. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a big thing with the capsule art too. I don't know why people do that. I guess because, well, I don't know. I don't know why people choose to do that. It seems strange to me. Capsule art. Let me check if Theo is standing in the right direction here. Okay, left. All right, Luigi, I'm sorry that was absolutely brutal. I know I said I try to be nice, and I do try to be nice, but you set me up when you said it's the quality of trying to. I judged it on that metric. I still think it's great what you've done. I really don't like AI art. I mean, I absolutely loathe it. I think it might destroy our world. So, I mean, that's going to get an emotional response from me. I particularly don't like it when the AI art is the best damn thing in your game. Like it's like 1,000 times better than anything else visually in the game. I think that's not good either. And of course, you might replace it. I don't know what the replacement's going to look like, but I'm sorry, that probably is absolutely brutal to hear. Gotta sneeze, folks. Okay. All right, Werbus, your projects. Where did you link it already? I'm sorry, I'm missing links. Link it again. It's way up there. AI can't make art, only humans can. Well said. Art is expression. And if there's nobody to express it, then it ain't art. It does make beautiful shit though. I hate it, but I have to be honest. It makes beautiful stuff. The AI. Whatever it is beautiful. And I hate that it's beautiful and it bothers me, and that makes me feel even worse. AI is trying to take away Oxford commas from me. Okay. Vote with your wallet. Yeah, it is hard to tell sometimes. Is that everything that we've been taking a long time on this because I've been gabbing? But let's see how that looks. I just want to see what state all the animations are in. Oh, I needed to actually fix this. So the mushroom class needed to be a prefab. So first of all, we've got to go to Perforce, and we've got to, so all of these scenes have been changed, and I'm just going to make a prefab out of mushroom class parents. So let's go prefab. Assets prefabs. Ugh. There it is. Okay, stick it in there. mushroom class parent, and I hope that this works. I don't see why it wouldn't. There's nobody referencing this group from outside, so I think it should be okay. But now we've got to sync. So I've got to revert all this stuff, and then I've got to sync because I forgot to sync this morning, and I'm an idiot. So I've got to revert. I'm pretty sure I already... we've got Zinnia regular. I don't know. Okay, well, anyway, we're going to revert all these files. And then sync them. Revert. Get latest. Okay. And someone wanted to show their game. I think it was Werbus. Show what they're working on, right? If you link your stuff, I will definitely check it out. I like checking out people's games. I'm always happy to do that. As long as just looking, not playing. I'm not going to play somebody's game. All right, so we've reverted that. And now I'm going to go to our mushroom parent here, and I'm going to grab our mushroom parent prefab. Mushroom class parent, I'm going to stick it right here, right next to it. And it's got the exact same transforms, at least it should. And I'm just going to delete this other one. And then I think I can unpack this. I'll leave it a prefab. Why not? I'll go ahead and save it. Oh, you know what is actually one great thing? I know I've been gabbing, but the real reason why streaming right now is useful, even if I am gabbing, is because it prevents me from watching the Steam Next Fest stats. But it has been a little bit, so we have to check them. I'm afraid we have to check them. Okay, so the wish lists are stuck. They're not updating. So that's good. That prevents me from caring about that. Okay, well, we got a few more concurrent players, 25. Nothing crazy, though. Nothing crazy going on. You know, it says, 19 players right now. So I don't know what this is, the peak for the hour. Yeah, I think that's the peak for the hour. Okay, well, the concurrent players seems to be going up generally. But nothing crazy going on with the wish list or anything. So all quiet on the Western Front. Okay, Matson Action says, by the way, I really like the idea of time stopping when an important event is due. That's always something that stresses me out. Okay, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. It was a big debate. A lot of people weren't clear on what was going on, so we tried to put a lot of tutorialization in there to make sure that people understood what was going on. Hopefully we finally got it. So now I'll put the player here. I've synced. Let's take a look. Nanani says, I can't play and be here at the same time. It's okay. I don't even know concurrent players matter, but I'm just looking for some indication that we're doing okay in the next fest, because these numbers are extremely underwhelming to me after our demo announcement numbers, but I just don't know if it's all good. If we're doing fine and we're going to pop on Wednesday, or we're bombing. It's just impossible to tell. I'm going to put into developer start settings, and then I'm going to check what's going on with the mushroom class parent. Has a gameable activation, and then it has a mushroom class, and it has a timed activation. Okay, so that's why this stuff is getting confused. So the timed activation, I guess, needs to happen. Let's see, how are we going to do this? I think what we need to do is we need to crack all of the spring stuff out. This should be spring mushroom class, and we're probably gonna have to open the prefab to do this. It's gonna be easier. Spring mushroom class, and then I'll put the spring mushroom class out, and then we have the summer mushroom class, and then the fall mushroom class. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the spring mushroom class stuff. Let's completely collapse this. And let's put all the stuff inside of the group that has the timed activation on it. And then, actually, the timed activation is a problem in general with the activation. How am I going to do this? I think we got to put a group on top. I think we have to make a another group. So spring mushroom class, create empty. We're going to put I'll call this timed activation. And then we're going to call this one spring mushroom class. And then put that inside. Okay, now we're rolling. Does anybody know what's even going on? I barely know what's going on. I'm just making these groups have timed activation subgroups, because the time activator is going to mess with our ability to sort of turn these off and on based on the season. So now they have their own like groups. And I can copy the timed activation component from this one and paste it on this one. And then we're going to do one more. Create empty. Call it timed activation. I'm going to paste component as new. And we're going to put everything, we're going to put everything inside of here. And make sure to hook that up. Okay, cool. So now we've got one for each group, and we should just be able to turn off. I'll put the spring in the top and then summer. We should just be able to turn on one at a time. It's also a Monday. Yes, but Next Fest is happening. It's Next Fest right now. The big moment. Yeah, at one point we saw over 200 concurrent players on our demo. Okay, look at that. That's great. Oh, you can't even see her. That's okay though.
Now this is what we call a nurse stump. It provides a home for many plants and creatures.
That's the wrong dialogue, obviously.
Baby fairies often live inside the crevices until they've grown their wings. Take a look and see what...
Perfect. That's great. So we'll just need to set up the correct conversations. Which is really going to be the hard part. But let's make the winter group, and we really do need to finish this before I forget all the points that Jack and I talked about. Okay, cool. Now let's look at the winter. The winter one is quite involved. Okay, maybe before I do the winter one, since we do need to mess with this. So summer and fall arrangements don't have conversations for the kids. I wrote seasonal branches for Kalula. So basically all the kids need special conversations that link to Kalula, which is going to be quite tedious to do. But Kalula has a different conversation for each, I think Jack was saying. So let's check the can speak. Kalula. I'm not getting any of the conversations for Kalula. I wrote seasonal branches for Kalula. Okay. There we go. So Kalula's base conversation already has branches in it. So let me just check what's going on with the conversation. Okay, so it has each branch has a cycle response. Perfect. We can do this. So we've got is spring. We'll just add a component with a bool activation on it. And then we'll hook up its own self and we'll say game bool is spring. And then the next one, we'll add a bool activation. Next one, we'll add a bool activation. And we're just going to have is summer, hook up itself, and we're going to go is summer. And then for the next one, we're going to hook up itself and say is fall. Of course, we're going to have one for winter too. But we've got everything in place now. And all should be well. We've got the branches. So the only thing we need to do is make sure that the kids have versions that interact with Kalula that also account for their mud pie conversations. So they all these kids hook into a quest. See, this is where it gets complicated. All these kids hook into a quest. And they need to not say anything if you don't have the quest. They need to just automatically interact with Kalula. But if you do have the quest, then the player needs to be presented with an option to, in this case, give them a mud pie, which is part of the quest. So let's look at the conversation, Fairy Child 0. And I just need to check what is going on with the mud pie situation. So there's a topic. Is the mud pie a topic? Is that how you interact with these kids? I need to know that. I'm going to be right back. I need to ask Jacqueline. Okay. Nurse Stump Fossil, yes. All right, Martin, nice to meet you. Thanks for dropping by. Have a good one. Oh yeah, Wurbus, you can link your, I didn't see the link for your game. I don't know if it got removed. Maybe you put it in YouTube and it got auto modded or something. But I'm happy to look at your stuff. Okay, so I need to find the hook for the mud pie quest. And I do think it's in the topic. Oh, mud pie vendor. I cannot remember. I don't see a topic conversation for it. So I'm just wondering how the player interfaces with the characters about this. I wish it was a topic. If it's not a topic, it should be. But it's too late to change now, so it's kind of a bummer. But let's go Fairy Child and let's just link to conversations. There's interact with Fairy Child. So I don't see anything about a mud pie in here. Okay, topics, mud pie delivery. Okay, so basically this is the way that we're interacting with the mud pies. We're not using the topic system, which is kind of a bummer, honestly. But that's fine. That's fine. We'll make it work. Oh, it was the Twitter link. Oh, okay. Well, try it again. Link it again, because now it's buried in the chat. I can't find it. Something in the Moobot. It was a long time ago, right? I just see Moobot links. Yeah, see if it disappears again. Is YouTube really so fussy about links? Okay, so in order to do the mud pie thing, there's also topics. We have topics. This kid, do we have any topics from Fairy Child? Let's see. Fairy Child. I actually don't know how to find if Fairy Child has any topics, but we can't just, she needs to have this little hub thing in here. So honestly, I think that the easiest way to do this is actually just keep this conversation going and put a season selector in here. So we have some control over this. And then we can take this to here. Man, it's going to be a little difficult. Because the mud pie delivery is in this conversation. So this is not going to be easy, but we're going to get it done. So let's take a look at Kalula, who already has a season selector. And let's copy this thing. So we're going to have to make a new branch node, and it's going to have all the seasons on it. So 4 outputs. And then we've got the is spring, is summer, is fall. Is spring, is summer, is fall, and winter is the else case. Actually, I think we're going to even need an is winter, because endless spring might be the else case. So is treehouse completed? let's go here. And then if it's spring, you go here. If it's summer, you need to check some other stuff. And it's going to be a massive range of stuff. So first of all, you need to check if this choice will be available to you. If this choice will be available to you, then you do go into this hub here. We also should check for if you have any topics. If you do have any topics, again, you're going to need to go into this hub. Well, we're actually going to have to make a new one that's exactly like this. It's very complicated. Actually, we'll just do the hymn. The is spring. That'll be a conditional choice. That should work. Yes. And then finally, you're going to check for all of this exact information. And then you're going to go into that hub. If it's summer, you're going here. If it's fall, you're going here. For now, we'll do winter as well. We'll do them all just to make sure this thing's locked in. If none of that stuff comes to pass, then we're going to go for a function node and we're going to do an interact with function. And just so to make sure I get it right, I'm going to go steal somebody else's interact with function. Interact with. And the person we want to interact with is Kalula. So I'll copy Kalula's name to make sure I get it right and put it in there. All right. Oh yeah, it looks like, I'm sorry, it doesn't look like it's linking Werbus. Sorry about that. YouTube is definitely fussy. Amber Fisher says, sorry if this question has been asked before. How are y'all writing branched dialogue, a plugin or just native Unity feature? Using Inky, and I think I like it, but it also makes me a bit nuts. We wrote our own dialogue tool. Just seems like every dialogue tool has its own sort of goals in mind. And ours is very simple. And we have this like little metadata system that works really well for us. We can kind of make any callback we need. But yeah, I think it only took me a week to write. Orba says, I'm using some dialogue assets. What let me make hierarchy trees instead of nodes. But I think to switch just writing dialogue as code the same way visual novels do. Could do that. That would be impossible for us, but I could definitely think of games where writing it with code would be just fine. Okay, 1 second, folks. Reads top down. Gotcha. Buggy, huh? Oh, I just find that surprising. If we ever used Godot, I think we'd write our own dialogue tool again. We'd write it in Godot as a standalone application so that we could send it to the localizers. That would be very helpful if they could see the dialogue trees. Okay, I think that that's pretty much the markup we need to do. We're going to test it on Fairy Child to make sure that it's working. So I'm going to save the project. And we already have all the bools set up. So now I think we probably can activate all of these, right? And then in Spring, I just need to check what's going on. So let's see what's going on here. Orbus says there is no good software to write branching dialogues. Yeah, they all seem to have their own different goals. I'm sure there are some, like Twine. I mean, people like Twine, right? They write all kinds of stuff in that. I think that this is Fairy Child, right?
Now this is what we call a nurse stump. It provides a home for many plants
No,
and
that's
creatures.
Satyr Child.
Baby fairy, take a look and see what.
Who's Fairy Child? Are you Fairy Child? Okay, we got a null reference exception. So object reference not set to an instance of an object. Yarn spinner. Yeah, there's quite a few of them, aren't there? Hello, by the way, D Anso. Ah, a tool from Night in the Woods devs. That's cool. Can sometimes do the illusion of choice that gives the same answer from the NPC. Oh yeah, we do that all the time. So, is this Fairy Child? Yes, that is Fairy Child. So let's see, what did we have an issue with? We're getting, it's in the can speak. It's in the ES invoke. Conversation UI. I wonder what the issue is. Let's see, conversation crafter. So this is definitely going here. And we're checking these bools. That shouldn't be an issue. Maybe has any topics is what's throwing it. Let's try that. Save project. Oh, okay. 1 second, folks. Okay. All right. Okay, Mossville. Thanks for dropping by. Sleep well. Obsidian, that's one I haven't heard of. Okay, so let's see if that was the thing. If we can't... I've never tried has any topics just all alone like that. I bet that's the issue. No, that doesn't seem to be the issue. I wish it gave me a little bit more information. It seems to be happening from ES Invoke. I really should probably do a sanity test here. I'm I'm just gonna maybe skip. Yeah, I'll put a branch node and I'll say skip. And I know that that's going to resolve to false. So in the false case, we'll go straight to her little choice center there. And then we'll just make sure this is linked in to the conversation. And then we'll save again. They're not all linked to the teacher yet. Well, okay. It is possible though that that is the bug, that this one is the one that's breaking, and we should find out right now. If this breaks again, then that is the most likely situation, that this fairy child is linked to. It's trying to interact with the teacher, and for whatever reason, it's not finding the teacher. Okay, so it wasn't that. So it was just something in our checks. It's kind of weird the player just says, All right, so we don't need this anymore. I know that it's something in this block. It has to be. So since I know it's something in this block, I know it wasn't, or at least it didn't seem to be, has any topics. But I'll keep this simple right now. I'm fairly certain it can't be these, because these are just bool. These are just simple bools. But I'm struggling to imagine why this. It's weird because all of these already they executed. They executed to show this block, but I know that the bug has to be in this block. So it's very peculiar. It has to be in that block, right? I guess it could be in this one, but I don't see why it would be. Oh, it could be this. This third speaker call could be breaking. Let's add another node in here. And let's say test. I wish that I could start diving into the actual bug, or the actual like error it's putting out. It's just it's buried in an ES invoke, so I'm not getting good knowledge about where it's actually coming from. Okay, so that worked, and then we get the null reference. So it is just having trouble finding child 2. That's it. But why did it work before, I wonder? Very peculiar. But we're going for, oops, third speaker child 2. So let's look for child 2. There's all manner of different child 2s. Why would it have an issue finding this one? It's got a can speak. It's got a game object finder. Why would it suddenly be broken? It's definitely breaking right here. Why would this be breaking? Third speaker. It's very, very odd. Okay, well, let's save and then run the game and then see if child 2 is actually existing. Do the 2 blocks need to be reversed? No, because we know now that the point of failure is on that 1 block. Where it says it says third speaker child 2. So it's basically asking this kid to talk. And we know that because it's now we've isolated it. Child 2 is right here. And he has a game object finder on him. So I have no idea why. Wait, does he? Yes, he does. It's right there. So I have no idea why. And if I talk to this kid, it should actually still talk to her if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that is throwing a no reference exception as well. Reset volume. Is that why it's throwing a no reference exception? We gotta... Okay, well, let me just look at the actual point of the bug. Source.volume equals initial volume. So source is null, I'm guessing. It's the only thing I can think of. Source on the can speak. Reset volume, and it's happening in can speak. So can speak has a source somewhere, right? Audio source or something. VC. Oh, for the love of God. Stop audio source while speaking. No, that's not a thing. Let me look at the source. Okay, so in the start function, we're getting the audio source. So do you have an audio source on you? Does this kid not have an audio source? And how have we not run into this? He does have an audio source. It's right here. So why is he not? Is this kid alone the issue? I don't know. Is everyone broken? Let's go end all conversations.
Now this is what we call a baby face. Take a look.
Okay.
And see.
So
Now this is what baby face. Take a look and see what.
what conversation do you have? Child interacts with fairy child. Okay, so it just goes right to her. So interacting with him simply interacts with her, and then she simply tries this third speaker call, which is getting null reference exception. And it's getting a null reference exception because this reset volume is not working. Now, what actual game object is it failing on? That's what I want to know. Game core. So it's telling me game core is the problem. Game core certainly doesn't have a can speak component. This should be the top of the call stack right here. So, or the bottom, I don't know. This source is null. Why? Why does this matter? There's a start function. The can speak would have an audio source. What's the problem? What is the problem? I've never seen this before. Comment. All right, folks. I actually have to go. I would love to fix this bug. I don't know what the issue is, and I'm sure you're all dying of curiosity, but now I must go. I want to thank everyone for hanging out with me. I won't say it's been a productive stream, but it has at least been distracting from all the Next Fest nothingness. No, more complicated than that. I need to take up childcare now, so yes. All right. Well, if any of you are new to the stream, please check out our game. It's called Songs of Glimmerwick. I'm sure all of you know about it by now. But if you don't, go check out our Steam page. Yeah. Rock on. Thank you, Werbus, and thank you, Amber Fisher. Thanks, guys, for dropping by. Appreciate you. And hopefully I'll catch some of y'all next time. All right. Bye-bye.